People, welcome to the White Dog Music channel. I'm the White Dog and I hope I find you well. Today, we're going to look at at least three reasons, why your music tutor might be a little bit rubbish. Okay, so before we crack on, just need to say a big thank you to our partners. We partner Tutorful, one of the biggest and most prominent online and face-to-face tutoring companies in the UK. If you're looking for tutoring across any subject, links below. Thomman, there's fantastic people at Thomman. I buy the vast majority of my equipment from Thomman these days. You can too. If you'd like to support the channel, simply click links below. Last, but by no means least, Elite's bass strings and guitar strings, and Liberty drums. Okay, so I've been a tutor, private tutor mostly, for give or take 20 years now, something like that. As you can imagine, over the years I have worked with hundreds of other tutors when working with organisations or for schools, organisations, that kind of thing. And I've met some really good ones. I've met some tutors that I've learned an awful lot from. But I've also met some rubbish ones. In fact, a few of them are really rubbish. Shouldn't be calling themselves tutors, to be honest, but, that's the way it is. So today I thought I would give you 3 warning signs that your music tutor might be a bit rubbish, and it's time to move on to someone who isn't rubbish. Better, hopefully. Alright, so warning sign number 1. You don't like your tutor. That's a big problem. Teaching is about building relationships. If you don't have a good relationship with your tutor, that is going to massively impact your ability to learn from them. Now, I'm not saying that's a tutor's fault. I'm not saying that's a student's fault. Actually, no, I am saying it's the tutor's fault. Ultimately, you pay the tutor, or parents pay tutors to develop relationships with students. They have to do that to be able to teach. No relationship, no teaching. It's quite simple, really. It's a fundamental. So, if you don't like your tutor, it's quite simple. Find another one. I can't tell you how many times parents have come to me with students who have been brought to me after being with another tutor, and they've said, we just had to leave because the student didn't get along with the tutor. At that point, it's time to go. Absolutely warning sign number 1. Probably the biggest, I would say. But they're all pretty big. So. All right. Warning sign number 2. Your tutor, regardless of whatever instrument you're playing, spends more of your lesson time playing than you do. If you go to your lesson, yes, I am looking at you, guitar tutors. I really am looking at you. If you play your guitar, or find yourselves playing your guitar more than your students do, I would say to that student, up, off, leave, go and find somewhere else. And there's a reason for that. And that reason is really, really important to me. One of the core tenets of my teaching business, White Dog Music is a business, website below. It's a tutoring company. One of the core tenets of my business is that, and my personal approach, is that I'm not a hypocrite. So if I tell my students that they have to go away and practice and learn and improve, I also have to be developing, learning, improving. I have no right to call myself a music tutor if I'm not. That's my personal approach. So when I'm not here talking to you on the YouTubes, I would spend most of my days practicing across 3 or 4 instruments, guitars, drums, bass guitars mainly. When I go to teach, when I go to tutor, I can absolutely guarantee you that the last thing I want to be doing is playing as part of our lesson. I want the student to be playing throughout the entirety of our lesson time together. And you'd better believe that, frankly, I've done enough practice during the day to warrant me not then wanting to continue playing throughout the evening for my students as well. Students' time is students' time. It's their time. They've paid for it. Someone has. Therefore, they should be playing. If you find that you're with one of those tutors, guitarists, I am looking at you. If you find as a student that you're with one of those tutors who you come out of the lesson and you think, wow, he's got the most amazing chops, wow. Oh, but hang on a minute, what have I learned? Not much. Then find yourself another tutor. That's not about them teaching you, that's about their ego. That's about them just wanting to impress you. And you're paying for that. That's number 2. It is another big one. If, by the way, you find out of any of these examples that you have a tutor who does one of these things, I would say one of them is enough to warrant moving on. If your tutor is hitting 2 or 3 of these things, it's all over. Keep your money. Go somewhere else. All right. The third thing I'm going to say, which is really, really important to me, is expectation. Does your tutor have expectations for you? If I had a penny for every time a new student had been brought to me because they'd spent a year with another tutor and hadn't progressed, I would have earned a damn sight more than I do from YouTube. Does your tutor hold you to account if you're coming in week after week after week after week, having not improved, practiced your instrument, etc.? If as a student or as a parent, you find that your son or your daughter, whatever, is coming home regularly week after week after week and hasn't improved, and your tutor or your tutoring organisation, whoever it happens to be, is happy to continue taking your money for that privilege, I would say find yourself another tutor. All right, so there you go. Those are your 3 main warning signs that your music tutor or teacher may be a bit rubbish, and it may be time for you to move on to pastures new in order to continue, or maybe just to even improve at the instrument that you've chosen. I've been the White Dog. Thank you again for dropping by the YouTube channel. Have you got any stories about tutors? I'd love to hear them. I don't mind, bad or good. I'd like to hear good as well. You know, this isn't all bad. I'd like to hear good stories. I'd like to hear bad stories. Have you had bad experiences with tutors in the past? Leave a comment. Feel free to like and subscribe and press buttons or do whatever you do, or for most of you, don't do. I just hope you come back and see me again real soon, because I'll be putting up some more content just like this at some point shortly. Bye bye.